Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary with the Getsome podcast. And my guest this week is...
This motherfucker Gary.
Hey, what's up? This is Gary Owen with the Getsome podcast. This week, I had so much I wanted to talk about. I went to the Chris Brown concert last week. The fan that took the baseball at the Philly Marlins game, my high school football team is still undefeated. There's so many things I want to talk about. Maybe I will get to them. But right when I went to go record yesterday, there's a reason we're airing this on Friday. Right when I went to go record yesterday, Charlie Kirk got shot. And then took a couple hours, and then it came out he passed away. And I go to X or Twitter, and that's where I heard about it. And I don't know how I came across the most graphic video I've seen. I've seen all the different angles of how he got shot. I couldn't watch this again. But when I saw him get shot in the neck and the blood just started really gushing out immediately, I go, there's no way he survived that. There's just no way. And then it came out. He passed away. I'm pretty sure he was gone before he got to the hospital. I think I've seen the best and the worst out of people when stuff like this happens. For me, there's a reason I don't do politics. I don't talk a lot of politics anymore. I stay clear of it because it's so divisive. It's so unhealthy. From my perspective, my day-to-day life is the people I interact with. My friends, my manager, my neighbors, people I run into at the airport. I don't try to engage in any kind of political talk. I took a lot of heat, not a lot. Social media heat isn't really heat. I took some heat when last month I was in DC and somebody asked me about Trump, because Trump had the National Guard out in the streets of DC. He was trying to clean up the streets, get all the young people off the streets or something like that. I don't live in DC. I didn't research enough on it. But a guy asked me what I think of Trump and what he's doing. And I was like, I don't live in DC. And I made a joke like, ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't live in DC. And people were like, man, if you don't stand for something, then you're part of the problem. Well, Charlie Kirk stood for something and it got him killed. So I'm like, politics it's supposed to be something we bring this country together. I don't think there's a more divisive thing. I think politics are more divisive than religion. And this just goes to show it. Whoever did this, and by the time this airs, maybe they've already caught the guy. As of now, there's a person of interest. They got a picture of a guy. There's not a doubt this guy's got military training. There's no way you can shoot somebody from 200 yards away on a rooftop. And I'm thinking he was aiming for his head, but the wind probably caught it, and it caught him right here. That's somebody that's trained to shoot a weapon. I didn't agree with probably 80% of the stuff I've heard come out of Charlie Kirk's mouth. But I will say he's a guy that stood in his beliefs, whether I agree with him or not. I think in his own way, he wanted this country to be a better place. I don't agree with some of the racial stuff he said. you know, it's interesting because he spoke to over like 150 college campuses. He's been on hundreds of podcasts. And I've seen the same 3 videos since he died. It's the same 3. It's the one where he said, unfortunately, I want to keep my Second Amendment rights, and it stinks, but there's going to be people that die because of guns. But he's like, but it sucks, but that's the cost of having your Second Amendment rights. But he also said in that people conveniently left out was, even if we get rid of guns, people are still going to die of guns. If we make guns illegal, they're going to find a way to get them. So let's keep them legal so people that want to protect their families and their homes can keep the guns. But they left that part out, you know? So I was like, but yeah, and then I saw another video where he was talking about, I don't know if I trust a black pilot because of, you know, hiring practices, how we got to hire minorities and stuff. You know, he said, if I got on a plane, I don't know if I really feel like that was the best pilot for that flight. And again, I'm only seeing snippets. I don't know what the full discussion was that led to that. Like, I don't know what question was asked to make him say that, and everything. So my thing is, he was not a threat to society. He wasn't out here breaking the law. He was going into the quote unquote lion's den numerous times. He went on Bill Maher. He would go on people that had different political beliefs in him for here's the key word, a discussion. That's all it was talk. And if you didn't like it, you could turn it off. He's popped up on different algorithms. I've been on Facebook or I've been on TikTok, and I'll see him pop up. And sometimes I would be like, oh, that's interesting. Or I'm telling you, most of the time, I'm like, oh, he went there. He went there. I can't believe he went there. And he was, sorry about that. He was getting college students fired up, and they were coming out and having good discussions. And, you know, if you can get people to put their phones down and to really focus on something, I mean, he was an effective speaker. And so I just, you know, I've heard the same people say, I don't have to agree with your political beliefs, but this is a father. He left 2 kids behind, a wife. Yeah, we get that. I understand. I think the most disturbing part is whoever did this, you basically killed somebody because they had a difference of opinion than you. I'm like, Charlie wasn't in government. He wasn't in politics yet. He was about to be. I guarantee you that. There's not a doubt in my mind in less than 20 years he'd have been running for president. Not a doubt. But it makes me wonder. I don't want to be around people that are going to gloat when somebody dies or start posting that same clip over and over again. I'm saying you cannot tell me that's all he talked about. And I didn't agree with a lot of the stuff, but no difference than comedians. I ain't got to agree with the joke you tell, but I will defend comedians till the end to be able to tell any joke they want to tell on stage. And comedians, we should not get offended by anything that's said about us. There shouldn't be any off-limit words. Just know if you use words, and there's one in particular that starts with an N that I will not say on stage. There could be, you got to deal with the backlash. And with the backlash, I almost said repercussions because I knew if I said repercussions, people would be like, well, that's what happened to Charlie Kirk. He died because of it, because of what he said. I'm talking about, like I said, the backlash. But he shouldn't be killed. Nobody should be killed over a joke. Nobody should be killed over a discussion on a college campus. And just the manner, the pure, violent, disgusting, just no regard for the debris you're leaving behind. Kids don't have a dad now. Wife, parents, friends. I'm just going, my opinion, Charlie Kirk, from what I've seen, and I've really seen a lot over the last 24 hours, is I don't think he was racist, but I don't think he had any clue what it's like to be an African American. Or he didn't have, he always, that's the other video I've seen where he said empathy is an overused word. I don't know what that really means. He goes, but there's sympathy, but there's empathy. I don't think he had sympathy for what black people might have been through. Yeah. And for people to gloat over it is really what's disturbing. To start posting about him, and this is the Charlie Kirk that died. He had this coming. I'm going, dude. You sit there on your computer and you sit there and type in the safety of your own home. He was actually, like I said, going into the lion's den. He was going to college campuses. He was going on these shows, knowing they were coming for him, knowing they was like, oh, I got my argument for Charlie Kirk. And listen, what I've seen over the last day, I probably see more Charlie Kirk in the last day than I've ever seen in all his life. Was he would give it to some people, and then some people would give it to him, and he took it. If he wasn't yelling or calling people names when they were yelling and calling him names on these college campuses. He was having a discussion, and at a time when that's why you go to college, to figure out, to figure out what I want to believe. And my whole problem with politics and in general is you got to agree with everything they say or nothing they say. You can't be like, well, yeah, Charlie Kirk had a good point there, but I didn't like what he said there. I see where, that makes sense. I'm going to change my mind on that train of thought. But yeah, I still don't agree with what he's saying over here. That's why you go to college, to have these debates, to have these discussions, to open your mind. I think it was healthy for college kids when he came there to either get fired up to go against them or to side with them, or to step back and be like, let me think this all the way through. And I say, when you're siding with them, it doesn't mean violence. When you're against them, it doesn't mean violence. That's what's disturbing about all this. I hate that about politics. It's you're either 100% right or you're 100% wrong. You can't be right on this, but wrong on this. I like what you did here. I didn't like what you did there. That's what I don't like. Some people, I couldn't believe how they were gloating that he died. It's disgusting. Like Amanda Seals, and even her, I don't wish nothing bad on her, but I thought it was disgusting how she reacted and just dug in. More dirt, more stuff that Charlie Kirk said that I don't agree with. And like, she goes, no, I don't have empathy for him. That's another thing. I don't agree with Charlie Kirk. Yeah, empathy is something that I do have, that I do. It's funny that word came up, and I think it was probably like a trigger word for me, because I was in therapy, and my therapist said, I lack empathy for other people. I only see things from my way. I don't realize how my actions or the things I've done could hurt people. And I very much lack empathy. And this was like 3 years ago, and I went, wow. that's a hard thing to look at. So then you got someone like Charlie Kirk who's like, I don't think empathy's like real, basically. It's an overused word. It's an overused term. And I'm going, I didn't agree with that because I got told I lacked it. And I've been very conscious since then to have more empathy for people. So even though Charlie Kirk said, I don't believe in empathy, I do. So I have empathy and I have sympathy for his wife and his kids and his friends and the people that followed him. Here's the thing. He had such a strong and powerful voice that people were following. Like, he could go to any college and pack it out. Who's to say over time he doesn't start to soften or he doesn't start to change his mind about empathy? You know, we're quick to say give people second chances. We're quick to say, you know, you're not the same person at 50 as you were at 30. I didn't realize how young he was. I was 31. So I just think he wasn't a threat to society. He had a powerful voice. He was effective in what he was doing. And I think it was a good thing of him going to college campuses. No, get out. I'm recording.
Come here.
Yep, sorry about this interruption.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, my nanny's got a deep voice.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Here's recording.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, that was a commercial break when my 2-year-old just walked in the room. But anyways, yeah. It just sucks all the way around. It sucks is the ugliness. You know, as much as he died, it's just ugly. Yeah. It's sad. It's just sad. You know, because honest to God, I look at politics almost like WWE wrestling. Like I'm listening to it, but I'm like, I'm not getting all fired up over that. Every Charlie Kirk video I saw, I was like, I looked at it like I was watching a wrestling match. I was like, oh, they went there. Oh, he got him on that. Oh, they got Charlie. There was a English speaking guy in Cambridge that was grilling Charlie, giving it to him in one of those debates. And I will say to Charlie's credit, he never attacked that guy personally. Never went. He tried to come with stats. And the thing about it, I don't know if they're real or not. I never fact checked anything he said, but I'm sure we'll have more this week. There'll be more people gloating. But yeah, I thought of Man of Seals. That was not cool. That was, I don't know. It was just disgusting. I don't want to be around that person like that. I don't want to talk to anybody like that. I don't want to work with anybody like that. You know, yeah. I mean, you couldn't even let it, he's not even in the ground yet. And you're already gloating like he had this coming. Yeah. When you say something I don't agree with, you could die for it. You know. And the gun law thing, you know, I just was like, again, I didn't agree with his stance on the gun law stuff. I didn't like that comment, obviously, but I don't think he should die for it. Like I said, people are ugly, especially, and the reason people are so fired up over Charlie Kirk is because he was an effective speaker. He was a leader, whether you like what he was leading or not. The dude was, because we wouldn't have all this coverage if he wasn't. So, yeah, to whoever killed Charlie Kirk, I hope they catch you. You got to be off the streets, because who's to say he doesn't agree with something else? You know, I'm a Bengals fan. What if the guy that killed him is a Steelers fan and he's that far off his rocker, he's going to go after a Bengals fan? I know that sounds crazy, but that's where we're at, you know? So anyways, this has been a terrible week in this country, especially. One, you got Charlie Kirk. That's one thing. And then you got the Ukrainian girl killed on the Charlotte tram. Let me make sure I get her name correct. It's nothing worse than, to me, there she is. Iryna. Irina Zarutska. 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 You know, this girl, I know you've seen this. She's on the train in Charlotte, and some crazy dude comes behind her, stabs her in the neck, and she bleeds out and dies. And she escaped the Ukraine to come to this country because she was scared to die in the Ukraine. DeCarlos Brown, you know, God, he was on a cashless bail 7 months before the knife attack on August 22nd. Just like, yeah, they should put this guy, DeCarlos Brown, in a cell with the guy that killed Charlie Kirk and just leave him alone. You both are crazy. You both are nuts. You both deserve each other. Nope, we're not bringing no food. Nope, there won't be running water. Just good luck. However long you can survive in this cell, the two of you together. Yeah, they deserve each other. But I think, again, my thing is, the guy that killed Charlie Kirk and the Carlos Brown, the guy that killed, I gotta hope I pronounce her name right. Irina, Iryna. Irina. You can't control crazy. I think there's people just crazy and you can't control it. I'm sorry about that yelling. Those are my twins. I'm recording this early because there's a football game on tonight and I want to watch it. So I usually record after my boys go to sleep, but they're yelling like crazy. So yeah, I think sometimes we overthink things and we look at like their background, how they were raised, you know, but the truth is, there's just crazy motherfuckers out there. There's crazy motherfuckers from 2-parent homes, from the ghetto, from the trailer park, from millionaire homes. There's just crazy people. And if you're crazy, you're crazy. Just send them off. Get away. I'm not trying to rehabilitate you. I don't want you to ever get back in society. Crazy people deserve to be around other crazy people. So I've always said this about child molesters, crazy people like DeCarlos Brown, the guy that killed Charlie Kirk. Just we got to find like a part of this world that nobody cares about. Build a wall, like Escape from New York, Escape from LA, drop them off, have fun. You're not getting no supplies. You're not getting no food. You guys got to make do. So I don't know if there's a little town in Mississippi, a town in, I don't know, Montana, somewhere, Alaska. There's plenty of room in Alaska. Build a wall in Alaska. Drop them off. Good luck in the winter. Good luck, fellas. Good luck, ladies. Child molesters and people that murder innocent people, blatant murder for no reason. Yeah, you got to go. We'll see you later. Have fun in there. Yeah. Hey, this podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Now listen, it's football season, man. We're back, baby. And you know me, any place that I can show my beloved Cincinnati Bengals some love, I'm going to do it. So when you're talking about Underdog Fantasy, I'm going to look for Joe Burrow. I'm going to look for Jamar Chase. I'm going to look for just the Bengals themselves. If you wear that orange and black, I'm with you, baby. I'm going to find you. And I'm going to find you on Underdog Fantasy. Trust and believe. So listen, now that they're on this podcast, they're going to get a big dose of this Cincinnati Bengals underdog. But I don't want to be selfish. I want my fans to know what it's about. So listen, download the app today and sign up with promo code Getsome to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code Getsome. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. You want to be next? Underdog make picks, win money. Must be 18 years or older, 19 years or older in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 years older in Colorado for some games, 21 years and older in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web. Play and get terms for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text 467-369. Again, Underdog Fantasy. Get it, do it, love it, live it. Go Bengals. Hey, this podcast is brought to you by Cash App. Now listen, I'm always on the road. I'm always sending money. I'm receiving money. I'm always trying to find the safest, most time-efficient way to do it. And I'm so glad Cash App has come onto my podcast because I use Cash App a lot more than most people. So listen, your security deserves to be a priority, and Cash App treats it that way. With Security Lock, Cash App requires a successful Face ID or biometric authentication to access your account. It's like your money is protected by your own personal bodyguard, even if you accidentally leave your phone unlocked or someone gains access to it without your knowledge. Plus, if you're about to send money to someone and Cash App notices something looks a bit off or that you might be falling for a scam, it will send you a warning before the money is sent, just so you can take a second and confirm that everything's right. If you still feel something's up after all that and someone is trying to scam you, you can report it in the app and have access to Cash App's 24/7 chat support. Turn on Security Lock in your Cash App settings now to keep your account and your information safer than ever, and pay attention to scam warnings if sending money to someone new. Learn more at cash.app/security. That's Cash App/security. Okay, for a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code to earn some additional cash. For real, just download Cash App, use your exclusive referral code SECURE10 in your profile, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, instant discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit Cash App/legal/podcast for full disclosures. Cash App, baby. So I don't want this to be all sad, the whole thing. And then oh my God, the school shooting in Denver, in Colorado. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. It's been a rough week. Been a rough week in this country. Week and a half, I should say. But hopefully by the time this weekend gets here, we'll catch the guy that killed Charlie Kirk. And it's, I hate when they make it a political thing. We don't know who he was. We don't know if this guy's Republican, Democrat, or he's just crazy. We don't know. So until we can't be throwing the blame game here on political beliefs, that's low. All right, let's do some good news. Let's have some fun to end the podcast with. So, a couple things. My high school, Talawanda High School, Oxford, Ohio, 3-0, leading rusher in the country, Lance Cantrell. Not in the state of Ohio, not in a certain part of the country, the whole country, Lance Cantrell. Look it up. Go to maxpreps.com. Shout out to the coaches, the players. We got Franklin, Ohio this Friday. If you don't know Franklin, Ohio, their most famous alumni were probably Luke Kennard, the NBA basketball player, went to Duke, and now Now he's in, I think he's in Memphis now. God, they're having a ball back there. I'm sorry about the background noise. But, yeah, so shouts out to Talbot High School, baby. Let's get to 4-0. Bengals last week. I don't know. That was a tough game. That second half, they looked terrible. But got Jacksonville this week. So Lil Duval coming for your neck, brother. We're coming for you, baby. Last time the Bengals played Jacksonville was in Jacksonville. Joe Burrow just got hurt. Jake Browning had his coming out party. And Lil Duval left me in Jacksonville on the runway. We flew his little Greyhound plane down there. And the motherfucker left me. He didn't really leave me. We act like he did, but he didn't really leave me. So, yeah. So, let me tell you what happened on the plane yesterday. I flew to Atlantic City, and I did, Iman Shumpert's got a new podcast out. So I went there and did his podcast, and on my flight home, doors are closed. You know, them plane, once you're in that tube, everything's heightened. You can hear everybody talking. I never understood people that when the plane lands, they get on their phone and they talk. We can hear every word. That's not why I don't like talking to people on planes, is because you can hear the whole conversation. I'm like, look, people can hear us. So I try to keep my conversations discreet. So this guy's on his phone, and whatever video he's watching, he doesn't have headphones. He's just loud. I have my earbuds in, I could hear his phone. And he was 3 rows behind me. So the flight attendant goes, sir, you got to have headphones. And he goes, I never heard that. He goes, oh, no, it's a rule. You can't just be playing your phone. He goes, I don't believe that. And I'm going, why are you arguing with the flight attendant? Even if it's not a rule, it's common courtesy. Don't play videos, songs, movies on your phone if you ain't got headphones on a plane. If everybody did that, there's 300 people on a plane, and we all got our phones loud, and we're all listening to movies or music, it would be chaos. The fact that the guy literally was like, I don't believe that. That's not true. I'm like, that's what you're standing on right now. Okay. Good luck with that. So I just couldn't believe it. Like, why are you even having this discussion with the flight attendant? She just looked at, I'm glad the flight attendant was a black girl, because she was like, oh, no, that's the rule. And she looked at him like, what? So, yeah, just people amaze me how selfish, and like it's your world. I'm gonna listen when I want to listen too loud. I don't care if I'm disturbing the other passengers. So, end the podcast with this. Went to the Chris Brown concert Monday in Houston. It was at the baseball stadium. I hate it when we got to compare artists. Like, is Chris Brown or Michael Jackson better? Is Chris Brown or Usher better? I just want to enjoy the concert. I don't go to a lot of concerts. This is the best concert I've ever been to. Chris Brown is today's GOAT. I don't know about all time. He's today's GOAT. I'm going the concert's 2.5 hours. Chris is on stage for 2.5 hours. So it started at 7. Chris went on about 8:30. He got off at like 10:50. 2 hours and 20 minutes of nothing but hits. I knew every song. And every time a song comes on, I go, oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, I forgot about that one. I was like, how many hits does this guy have? And then when he went to go change clothes or he took a break, they were playing songs that he wasn't performing that night that was still hits, because he's been a feature or you know, he's sung with other singers on songs. And so I'm going, when does this end? Okay. Hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. Then we all know he's flying around the stadium, right? He's all over. At one point, he was flying around this baseball stadium upside down singing. And it sounded just like the radio. I was like, okay, he wins. He's the GOAT. I'm not saying it all the time. I don't know all the time. I know for right now, he's the GOAT. Okay, so then he performs for 2 hours and 20 minutes. There is wardrobe changes. He's flying around. He's dancing. He's singing nothing but hits, sounding just like the radio. He's not lip syncing. The brother's singing. Then he goes to an after party. I was like, I'm tired from watching the concert. He performed. And I wasn't going. I was not going to the after party, but we went with some friends. They called, said that we can get us in. I don't think I would have had an issue, but I didn't want to be embarrassed either. They said, nah, we're good. So we go, we're sitting there, and then, Chris gets there about 1 a.m. I mean, and I looked over, he's just vibing, having a good time. And I'm just going, what? You're going to do this again in 2 days? Thinking we're going to Phoenix next? I was like, bro, I woke up the next day, wore out. Granted, did have a couple drinks. I wouldn't say drunk, but I had a couple drinks. I don't drink that much anymore. So about 2 or 3, I'm waking up like, but to me, and when I was talking to D'Amico Ryans, the head coach of the Texans. He was in the same suite that we was in. Did I just flex a little bit? I think I did. Yeah, I was in a suite it's funny because I'll post a video of the concert. And people are like, damn, you got them nosebleeds. It's so bad. I want to be like, I'm in a suite, Playboy. A suite. Right? And I had him turn on Monday Night Football. That's how much a football fan I was. So I'm watching Chris and I'm watching the Vikings and Bears. I'm watching Chris, I'm watching the Vikings and Bears. But D'Amico was in the suite and he said, I said, I think he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT right now. And D'Amico's like, what about Usher? And I go, ooh, I didn't think about that. I said, I'll take Chris over Usher. He said, did you go to the residency in Vegas? I said, nah, I didn't. He goes, you might change your mind if you would have saw that show. I go, that's fair. That's fair. See, we had a difference of opinion. D'Amico said Usher. I said Chris Brown. Doesn't mean I don't like him. Doesn't mean we can't hang out. We just had a difference of opinion. I root for the Bengals. Pretty sure D'Amico roots for the Texans. We're allowed to have difference of opinions, people. So, that concert, I didn't ever see nothing like it. Nothing. It's just, so to all the Chris Brown fans, to all everybody, I'm just going, yes, I saw it in person. The motherfucker sang Upside Down. I'm going to say it one more time. The motherfucker sang Upside Down. And it sounded good. Up front, hold on. Upside Down, 500 feet in the air. He's at the top of the baseball stadium, upside down, coming down, singing. Tell me how you're supposed to breathe with no air. I don't even know that was the song, but I was like, oh, he different. And then he showed up at the after party. What is he on? That's all I want to know. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. Amazing concert. My girl said she thought Beyonce was the best, which I understand. I think women might say that. I think that's more of a girl power thing. I can see how some women would be like, "I'll take Beyonce over Chris Brown," but me, I say Chris Brown. I've seen Beyonce in concert. She's dope. She's great. Chris Brown. See, I saw Prince. I wouldn't say a concert. It was a concert. It was like he was doing these pop-up shows in LA back in like 98. And it was before the internet and all that stuff like that. There wasn't no social media. I mean, there was internet, but not social media. And it would get announced. I don't even know how it got announced. People were just finding out Prince is here tonight. He's here tonight. Packed. And he was at the Key Club in LA. And I knew one of the security guys there, so he called me down, and I went up on that balcony area of the Key Club, and Prince came out, and it was great. I'm so glad I got to see him perform, but he did like an hour of songs I never heard of. He was just like, at one point I thought he was tuning his guitar, And then he was just trying riffing, he was trying new songs, but then when he got to some of the hits, yeah. Because that's what I'm saying. Chris Brown was just doing hit after hit after hit after hit after hit and another hit. I was like, oh my, I didn't even realize how many songs this brother has. But yeah, that to me was the biggest difference. Now, if Prince would have done hit after hit after hit after hit after hit after hit, maybe I would have felt something different. But I never saw Michael Jackson. Now, the only thing that Chris Brown did that was Michael Jackson-esque was some more used to do a joke about Michael Jackson was in concert somewhere in Europe and he got on stage and stood there for like 10 minutes and didn't move, and the crowd just went fucking nuts. Just the sight of him. He didn't say a word. He didn't blink. He had sunglasses on. No music started. It was just, they saw him on stage. He stood there for like 10 minutes and didn't move. And some more did the joke about, if I was going to stand there for 10 minutes, you all would have booed me off, say whatever. Chris came out very similar, where he came out and he was just silent for like a minute. Not 10 minutes, but like a minute. And the crowd, the way they bring him on stage, the anticipation, it's like they got this big 10, 9, 8, 7. It's big. The numbers are popping up on the screens. And then they do this whole montage of his career and everything. And then, of course, the sparklers, the light shows. And then Chris just pops up on the stage. And he stood there for like a minute. And I was like, that's the only time during that concert that I thought of Michael Jackson. Because I think that's the comparison, Chris Brown, Michael Jackson. Because they're both, the way they dance, sing, child stars to now. I think that's the comparison. But they're both just amazing. Let's just enjoy both. I don't have to be like, Chris Brown's better than Michael Jackson. We'll never know. And nobody's ever going to change your mind during arguments like LeBron and Jordan. But that was the only time I said, oh, that was almost some Michael Jackson shit right there. The way he just stood there quiet. If I was Chris Brown's people, just to have fun, every concert I'd be like, see if you can go longer than last night. See if you can. Last night you were in Houston, you was on stage for 61 seconds. I'd be like, okay, the next show's in Phoenix, 62. And then the next show, wherever it's at, Chris, see if you can stay for 63 seconds. See how long you can get. Because I don't think anybody would move, and I don't think anybody would care. I think they'd still be going nuts. He's that good. So, sorry about that. All right, y'all. Well, I got to go. The boys are getting restless. Again, this is a sad week in this country. You can't control crazy. But to end on a good note, good luck to my high school, Talawanda High School. Good luck to my beloved Cincinnati Bengals this week. Oh, Canelo and Bud Crawford's fighting this weekend. I'm picking Bud, and I think he's going to make it look easy. Call me crazy. I think Bud Crawford. They always say little man can't be big man. I don't think that's true. I think Bud's it'll be a decision, but I think he's going to handle him pretty easy. I really do. I'm picking Bud Crawford this weekend against Canelo Alvarez. All right, y'all. Let's make this week better than last week. It's okay to have discussions. It's not okay to get violent about them. That's all I can say. All right, y'all. This is Gary with the Getsome Podcast.
This motherfucker Gary.